Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mind.
And I'm Ray.
We are back.
Yes, and Black.
Yes.
Get into it.
Come on now. Today's video is going to be somewhat disheartening, but it needs to be talked about.
Definitely.
I know you all have already seen the footage of Daunte Wright being murdered for a traffic stop by Officer Kim Potter in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And she immediately said it was a mistake. And from that point, the very next day, she resigned, and the police chief also resigned, and she was able to attain her pension. But a couple of days later, they gave her a second-degree manslaughter charge.
Which is a lesser charge than the crime.
Because the second-degree manslaughter charge is something like you're going hunting and you mistake your partner, you shoot your partner outside of the deer you're hunting. That's pretty much where they put this up at.
Yeah, we're all deer.
Yeah, so I want to shed some light on that situation as developments actually continue to keep unfolding, but this is just my take, and I'm speaking for me, not speaking for my wife, I'm speaking for me. And I also want to bring some things to light that doing my own research that pretty much is BS.
All of it is.
Yeah.
All of it is.
Daunte Wright was pulled over because of a air freshener hanging from his rear view.
I'm sorry.
An air freshener hanging from his rear view. After he was pulled over, of course, they ran his name.
Of course.
After they ran his name, they found out he had an outstanding warrant. More in research about this outstanding warrant, come to find out he did have a drug charge, a simple weed charge, and where he admitted guilty. And I think the ticket that he received for the weed charge, I think it was possession, a very small amount, was about $346. And that he did a deferred payment. Now, that's pretty much where we are at this present time.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand something else. He's dead. I want to let that sink in for a second. He's dead. He's dead from the negligence of Officer Kim Potter, who is a 20 plus year veteran of the police force, making about 90-some thousand a year. Also, she was union president, and also she was a training officer.
Yeah.
Let that sink in as well.
Also, the fact that she had been on the force, 5 or 6 years
before
he was born.
He was born. To give you even more insight on the situation. Now, her home has been barricaded because she's pretty much they feel as though this is about to be a riot is about to ensue. Let me tell you something. You damn right.
Right. Like
now, I'm not there, and I'm gonna sit here and come out of the mouth. Yes, I should be there. I wish I was there. I really do.
I do too, really.
Honestly, and so I guess by showing my solidarity and my heart, we're bringing this video to you.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we don't have to talk about it. We can talk about something totally different. We can talk about relationships. We can talk about the latest gossip in Hollywood. But I don't want to do that. I want to talk about this situation right now. This is becoming an epidemic. I'm sorry, pandemic, because it is global. Now, let's pause this for a second. A lot of people are saying that, she did it was an accident or whatever. How do you mistake your taser for your gun? How do you not know the difference between your taser and your gun? And I want you to understand before you even answer this, she was panicking or whatever, but she is a training officer. She is a training officer. There is no way you're going to tell me that she can mistake her taser for her service weapon.
Both in weight and in color. And again, I have friends who are officers. My dad is a retired officer, and he indicated to me, your revolver is on your right side. This is the mnemonic that they teach you. Revolver, right. So clearly your taser is going to be in the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you had them switched for whatever reason, you should have known. And you did know.
Yeah, you knew. And I am not going to sit here and say it was a mistake. I think it was intentional.
Yeah. Now I did have someone, I'm sorry, I did have someone, I posted it on on Facebook, and someone indicated, they said, well, I don't think that it was intentional. I wonder what the state of mind what the state of mind of the officer was at the time. Mm-hmm. We know what the state of mind of the officer was because it came to fruition.
Yeah, I want to kill this nigga.
We got one.
Yeah, I got him today. And mind you, she also has a previous charge on her record for killing someone in an arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's going to come out later. I got that from Roland Martin.
It probably won't come out because she's not black. Yeah. So
I got this from Roland Martin.
Or she had a troubled childhood.
Oh my God.
Her past.
Yes. And now I'm going to do this, and let's get real serious on something. Okay, when the officer kills an unarmed African American, immediately the African American is vilified,
killed twice.
He's checked for toxins in his bloodstream, drugs, alcohol, whatever. How come the police officer is never checked?
Nothing. Silence.
Why
exactly.
Why isn't a police officer actually after? Because I'm going to tell you, I used to be an EMT, emergency medical technician. Yes, I did. I used to drive ambulances. I did it for about good 3 months. And the first rule they told us, if there's anything, an accident or what have you, a patient dies or whatever, the first thing you are to do is get your drug test.
Now, if he remembers that from years ago, from only 3 months of training, why is that not done globally when something like this happens?
Especially law enforcement.
Right.
How come?
Because they don't have to have their tracks covered.
Yeah, it was funny. Darren Wilson, who's the officer who murdered Mike Brown, what happened? He was able to go home, take a shower, wash his hands, then turned in his service weapon for evidence. If you don't sit here and look at this as being racially motivated, you either don't want to believe it.
You are the problem.
And you want to sit around here and try to make it seem as if that this is just some coincidences. It don't happen. It's like it happens to white folks also. Okay, I'm gonna say something. Someone put a post, because I was sitting going back and forth with them on there, about the Adam Toledo, the 13-year-old young man in Chicago who was also murdered by the police, and he had a gun,
but not at the time that he was shot.
Now I want to explain. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. I'm gonna give you a few seconds of this situation. The young man, they say he was involved in some kind of gunfight. Okay, the responding officer was in the area. All of a sudden, came onto the scene. Young man takes off. He's running. Now, when he runs, he drops the gun that he has. He obeys the officer's command by stopping and raising his hands. Within a split second, he's shot.
His life is gone.
Now, we would never know was he involved in the shooting. We would never know the reason why he was involved in the shooting. We'll sit here and come out of the mouth and try to say bad parenting or whatever. He was 13 years old. Why did he have a gun and all these things? Yes, you can make all these speculations, but you understand one thing. He is dead. He can't even answer any of your questions.
And again, at the time that he was shot, he complied.
And he was unarmed.
So when you all say, well, if you would just comply, you can kiss my ass on that one, because it happens regardless. It happens regardless.
Yeah.
Your hatred for us is pitiful.
Yeah. And the reason why I can say Dante Wright's initial traffic stop was an air freshener, I was pulled over for the very same thing. It's a ploy. It's a tactic that police use.
I never knew it was a thing, because when he came and told me he got pulled over for that, I'm like, for real? I always have something hanging from my windshield.
Yeah.
Or rear view.
Yeah.
But
and this is just like, I get it. I was pulled over for the very same thing. Very same infraction. I even asked a police officer, because I work alongside police officers, what I do for a living. And I asked them, they said, yeah, we use that. I mean, it's technically it's against the law, but come on, man, it's petty.
It's against the law, but the cops are above the law, so they don't have to worry about it.
It's a petty crime. It really is. They say it's obstruction of your view. Come on, something.
Whose view?
Something this big,
hanging in the center while you're looking straight forward.
And my windshield is what, almost 4 or 5 feet long.
Who we kidding?
Come on, seriously. But okay, Dante Wright should not be dead. That's period.
Fernando Castile should not be dead.
Oh,
Mike Brown
should not be
Eric
dead.
Garner.
Should not be dead. So, Sandra Bland.
Yeah.
And the sad part is we can continue to say these names and they will continue to go on and on and on. I can trace stories right now. And this is about stories that we all has been televised. We ain't talking about the ones that's not being televised.
Mm-hmm. Tell about the bank.
Yeah. It was the Internal Revenue situation. You can sit here, I'm going to let you know how racially motivated it is. And you can look this up. Okay? Black police officer in Ohio was going to IRS building to take care of some kind of IRS situation, debt that he had or whatever. He got a letter in the mail. So during his shift, he stopped at the IRS building to take care of it. Walks into the building in uniform. That's very important to remember. He's a black man, but he is in a police uniform. Goes upstairs to the room he needed to go to. He's waited by a white security officer of that building.
White security officer.
Who pulled out their weapon and drawn it on him. Now, you crazy, Monday. Look it up. You can put it in a search engine.
So, black police officer goes into the IRS building to take care of some personal business in Ohio. And when he gets there, a white security officer, armed, sees a black man with a gun.
Yeah. Now,
you don't see uniform. You don't see anything else. The only thing you see is a black man and a gun.
Now,
because we all look alike.
He pulls his gun. Stop! Don't go no further! Drop your weapon! Officers very calmly says, I can't do that. Now, I'm going to make it funny. But it's sad, but I'm going to make it funny. Someone called the police.
Somebody called the daggone police.
And I'm right here. I got a black man with a gun. They never say a black police officer.
Told you, black and gun. We're the same color, we all look alike.
Instead of the officer responding with the actual threat that he's being addressed with, he says, you know what? I'm going to leave. While he's walking away, it is seen in the footage, the white police officer, the white security officer, got his gun drawn on that man's neck, pointed right there. He's like this while the officer is leaving. He gets on the elevator. You're not going anywhere! And puts his foot in front of the elevator door so it won't close. Only time he put his weapon away is when the officer took a picture of him. Now, you get downstairs, here's the police.
Right.
Now the police officers who arrive at the scene asking, "What's going on?"
Right.
Said, the security guard put his gun on me. And the officer said, "I'm not one to pull the race car." He said, but looking at young man's eyes, he wanted to kill me. He wanted to shoot me. He hated me.
He had him a nigger that day.
He said, "I just knew I was dead. I knew I was going to be shot. I just knew it." That's how come I didn't respond the way he wanted me to. Because had I just pulled for my weapon, I wouldn't be here to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
Racially motivated?
Yeah.
Can't be.
Nah. Of course it
is. Anybody would do that.
No. And again, this is a story that was not televised.
No. It was national news.
I learned about it this morning when we talked about it. Mm-hmm. I had no idea.
Yeah, and like I said, you can Google it. As a matter of fact, we'll put the link.
Yeah, we'll put the link to it
in the description box so you can look for yourself. I'll give you another one. Jamel Roberson. Jamel Roberson. Chicago. This brother was a security officer for this certain bar where a shooting took place, and he reacted as he should. He subdued the suspect. The police arrived. And of course, gun, suspect, he's apprehended. He's subdued in the parking lot. The brother Jamel has his knee and gun on the dude's back. The officer that shot him, the security officer, that got shot, got killed. The officer said that I came to the rear. I saw a man with a gun dressed in all black with no security insignia whatsoever. Witness who was on the scene that investigators never ever went to actually investigate or even talk to, she said, "I was there." He had a bright orange vest that said security and a hat that said security.
Right.
He was killed.
So there you have it.
I am sick and tired of the bullshit. I'm sick and tired of the lies. I'm going to give you one more. Muhammad Noor.
Everyone knows about this. They probably don't know the name.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you the color. I'm just going to say the scenario. Okay, police officer arrives on the scene after being called, after 911 call came through of a woman being raped in Minneapolis.
Minnesota, y'all got it going on.
So let me tell you.
In the worst way.
This comes after the wake of the officer who killed Philando Castile. He was found not guilty. Protest was going on. Of course, officers fear for their life, right? Of course. Now, officer arrives on the scene. It's a low-grade response, low-grade alert. So they go through the alley with no sirens, no lights. All of a sudden, they hear a noise. Boom! They're both startled. Now, it's Muhammad Noor, and what's the other gentleman's name?
Harity. Somebody Harity.
Yes, last name is Harity. You can look this up as well. His name is Muhammad Noor. He's sitting in his car. He's on the passenger side of the squad car, and Harity's on the driver's side. All of a sudden, they hear a bump. Boom! They both are startled. Now, Harity draws his weapon. Doesn't discharge. Muhammad draws his weapon. Bow! Shoots. Kills the person that called the 911, who made the 911 call.
Unbeknownst to him.
Now watch this. It was a white woman he killed. Muhammad Noor is black. Where was Blue Lives Matter? Where was this call to it's it's a dangerous job and oh my God, you can't sit here and
in that regard, he was a black life.
Yeah, he was a black man.
It didn't make a difference what color his uniform was.
Yes.
His skin trumped it all.
No union protection, like Derek Chauvin is getting at this present time. He was sentenced to 12 and a half years. He's doing time right now for second-degree manslaughter. Now watch this. When he resigned, they agreed, oh yeah, you go ahead, you go resign. Yeah. They upped the charge to second-degree murder.
They made the charge greater than what it was.
Yeah, now watch this. Didn't Kim Porter resign?
And her charge was downgraded.
Now.
But Kim Porter, she's white.
Yeah, but that's it's not racially motivated, sweetheart. Come on, you can't use racism. Don't do that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't do that. Come on now. We gotta be fair. We gotta be fair.
Right is what right is right.
Yeah, yes, please understand. Now, Kim Porter was already given the charge of second-degree manslaughter. She didn't intentionally kill anybody. Even the public even said, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and give this woman that murder charge. I'm not going to say that because there is no way she actually made a mistake. She is a trained officer, 26 years on the force. Muhammad Noor had less than a year and a half on the force. Am I saying that he doesn't deserve to go to jail? No. But how come the same preparation, the same defense, the same help, the same outcry,
everything
wasn't given to him?
Doesn't apply to him.
But applies to her.
We'll never get the answers.
Because he's locked up, man. Daunte Wright's dead. You got Lieutenant Nazario.
In Virginia.
Windsor, Virginia. Gotta say Windsor.
Windsor, Virginia.
Yeah. He was pepper sprayed. You about to ride a lightning, boy. That's what the officer Joe Gutierrez said to him. He said, I have a fear of my life. You should! What was Lieutenant Nazario's crime?
Making him drive 1.5 miles.
That was it.
After he tried to pull him over.
Okay. Let's clear it up a little bit. Yeah. Nazario had a black vehicle with tinted windows.
Like most people do.
Yeah, and no license plate on the license plate bracket where it belongs. It was taped on his rear window.
As most people do, because paper tags are stolen. Hell, hard tags are stolen, but paper tags mostly.
Easier.
You can alter paper tags. Don't ask me how I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. You have to ask that question. But anyhow, he's driving. There the police hit the lights. He doesn't pull over on the highway because it's dark.
Rightfully so.
Drives to a well-lit gas station, a BP, I believe. Immediately, guns are drawn. I'm threatened. You can see my hands in plain view because my hands are out. And he's saying calmly, what's going on?
Says it a lot of times.
What's going on?
And I'm glad that he knew enough and did enough to set his phone on the dashboard in front of him and recorded it. So regardless of the officer's body cam not being functional or something like that, don't worry about it, sweetheart. We got it.
We got our own footage. Now, he's been threatened. He's pepper sprayed. He's pulled out of the vehicle. All these things are going on. When they see that they're being cammed, they see they're being recorded, all of a sudden now I'm concerned.
Now I want to talk to you and,
See, I want you to understand. See, you got to understand what the racial climate is right now between law enforcement and African Americans. You got to understand.
The hell do you mean racial climate with officers? The officers are not dealing with the racial climate. We are.
Yeah.
Y'all controlling the climate.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm going to drop this right here because I can go on. Right here in the District of Columbia, a DC firefighter sits in jail because an officer of Fairfax County, Virginia, lied on this man. Or the reason why he stopped him. The officer was fired. But guess what? Moved, lives in Florida, and now he's also a police officer. Meanwhile, this young brother, ex-DC firefighter, is still sitting in prison.
Off of a lie.
Waiting for his release.
Off of a lie.
Don't you ever come out of mouth and tell me that I don't have a reason to be upset. I don't have a reason to be fearful. I don't have a reason to be infuriated. Don't you come out of mouth and tell me that these are just separate incidences. This is how America sees us. Separate
incidences that all connect.
Same situation.
Like knitting a damn scarf.
Because damn it, my son, my father, my brother, my cousin, my wife, my mother, it makes no difference. We can all be. We can be Trayvon Martin. We could have been Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Eric Garner, Mike Brown. That could be us.
And you know what? We are them.
Yes, we are them. And
so we have to tell their story.
Yep, and that's sad.
We have to tell their story.
And I want you to really understand something. That there is an actual video footage that I'm going to put in the description box. And I want you to see a white man tell a police officer 3 times, I'll shoot you. He is not only able to say that, he actually drives away. Not high speed. He says, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm not going to harm anyone. I'm gone. Bye. The police they pull their weapon. Then they holster their weapon. He says, I'll shoot you. He didn't say I might. He said, I will shoot you. And they know he has a gun.
Yep.
He put his hand on the gun. I'm going to put the video in the description box. You can see it for yourself. I don't know where it is. I don't know who these officers are, but I do know it's real because it's police footage.
Right.
I'm Mun.
I'm Ray. That's our time. We thank you for yours. But before we go, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, definitely comment. Blast off in the comment section. Let us know how you feel. If there's any subject or topic that you want us to touch on, let us know. We will have information coming soon about our podcast. We're going to start a live podcast, and $100 will be given randomly once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So tell a friend to tell 20 friends. Let's get it in. Okay.
There it is.
What you got?
I would love to have a smooth or joyful end to this segment. I don't feel joyful right now.
Yeah. It's scary.
Very. So, I'm going to say peace, be safe. Until again.
We love you. Bye.